Hey folks, 64-Bit Matthew here. I just actually got back from Mexico. I was down there for a week with the wife. It was a fun vacation, but I'm glad to be home. If you're friends with me on Facebook, then you probably knew that I left and came back for a week. If you're not friends with me on Facebook and you want to be, I'll leave a link in the description below. Really the only thing in the last week that I bought that was gaming related is this new hat, which hopefully it shows up okay in the shot because I can't see. But it is Donkey Kong. I thought it was a nice little hat. It's Donkey Kong, says it on the back there, and I think it was like 20 bucks after tax. And I needed a new hat for Mexico anyway, so I figured it was a good choice. So before I went to Mexico, probably 2, maybe 3 days before I actually left the country, I came across a bundle that I figured was too good to pass up. Now, I'm not really collecting for the Nintendo DS right now, but as mentioned, it was just too good of a bundle to pass up, so I figured I'd grab it. And yeah, I didn't have a chance to make a video before Mexico, so I'm making one now. Now, what I'll do for this video is I'll show you all the stuff, and then I'll tell you what I paid for the bundle after I've showed you everything, and then I'll end with a pan over everything again. So it's a fair amount of quantity, but there is some quality in here too, and the price was definitely right. So as mentioned, the bundle is mostly Nintendo DS stuff, but there was a bit of Game Boy Advance stuff in the bundle too. So I'll start with that. First up, Nintendo Game Boy Advance charger. Never hurts to have another one, especially because the bundle did include a Game Boy Advance SP. Now, this one is the AGS-001. So it doesn't have a bright screen like the 101 versions do. And the top is a bit scratched, but all the buttons work, the system works. So I'll show you the games that were included for the Game Boy Advance. Midway's Greatest Arcade Hits, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Super Monkey Ball Jr., Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2. And the last one is Super Mario Advance 4, which is Super Mario Bros. 3. So not bad little Game Boy Advance bundle. Alright, so now moving on to the DS stuff. I'll try and go through some of it quickly because some of it is less desirable titles, but I still want to show it all. So, came with 2 chargers for the DS's. Came with some extra styluses. I'll show you the games. All the games are fully complete. Well, I think maybe 1 or 2 is missing a manual, but none of the all the games that I actually want to keep have they're fully complete. So, bear with me. Like I said off the start, there's going to be some less desirable stuff. First up is Dogs, Brain Age, really common, but I don't actually mind it. Cooking Mama, I actually played this one a bit. It's not actually too bad, so probably won't see a lot of playing time, but Imagine Interior Designer. Yeah. Oh, and then one loose one. Imagine Figure Skater. Dogs. Pets, Horses 2. Another Imagine game. Imagine Fashion Designer New York. So many Imagine games and so many Pets games. Scribble Knots. Another one that's pretty common, but it's actually a pretty fun game too, from what I've played. I haven't dived too deep into any of them, but I did test each game to make sure they work. Tom and Jerry Tales. Pets, Cats 2. Nintendogs. Because apparently this family could could not get enough pet games. Well, and you'll kind of see why when I show you other stuff too. Nancy Drew, The Mystery of the Clue Bender Society. I think I read that right. I'm not even too worried if I didn't. So now the 3 games that I was actually excited to see. First up, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. Nothing too fancy, but it's a Mario, or Mario, I should say, Mario title. And I'm mostly collecting 3DS games, but I am going to say that if I come across any Nintendo DS Mario games, or along those lines, those ones are worth picking up. Other than that, I'll probably keep my DS collection to a minimum for now. But happy to get that one. Mario Party DS. Same as the last one. Actually, this one I'll probably play a fair bit more, so I'm quite happy to get this one. And the last game included is one that I was hoping to get for a while. I just never came across it for cheap, and I didn't want to spend a ton of money on it. And that was Mario Kart DS. So I've heard that this one's actually quite good, so I really want to give it a try because I do enjoy Mario Kart games. So, and then the last thing in the bundle, which made it worth it for me, well, and I'll tell you the price in a second too, are some systems. Like I said, there was the Game Boy Advance system that I showed you. There was also, I think this one's a DS Lite, maybe. If you look closely, there are strawberry glitter stickers on it. Very nice. I'll have to take those off at some point. This one's a bit dirty and a bit scratched, but I tested it and it works perfect. So I'll clean it up a bit more, but it does work really well. Next up is a Nintendo DS Lite, I believe. I don't know my DS systems. No, this one's a DSi. The other one was the DS Lite. Anyway, Nintendo DSi. Tested this one too. Works great, fully functioning, plays games. Could use a bit of a cleanup. You can tell that they were owned by kids, which is fine because, you know, that's where you're going to find bundles. So, and then last but not least is a blue DSi. So, and again, fully tested. Got a little bit of wear, but fully tested, works great, and yeah, happy to have it. So as you can probably tell, between the 4 systems and 20-some games, a lot of them being like girl games, pets games, fashion designers, stuff like that. I believe it was from a family with a couple daughters, but with the Mario games, the systems, and yeah, there was enough good stuff in it that I felt it was well worth picking up, especially because for the grand total, for everything I showed you, the 4 systems, and I think it's like 19, 20-ish games plus 3 chargers, for everything I paid 25 bucks. So I figured I couldn't go wrong for 25. When his asking price was 25, so I just said I would give him his full asking price because I wasn't going to try and haggle him down from 25 bucks for that. So he responded actually pretty fast saying, sure, you know, you're the first person to say that you'll take it for 25. So, and he had to go, I think, pick up his kids from school or something. So he actually delivered it to me, which was nice. So for 25 bucks, I got 4 systems, 20-ish games, for 25 bucks delivered. And the reason that he was getting rid of it is he said that he bought his kids all iPads and iPhones or something, and they hadn't played this stuff in a couple of years. It just sat in a box somewhere, and they hadn't touched it, so he just wanted to get rid of it. So we tossed it up there for cheap, and I was the first person to reply. So, yeah, there's definitely some questions about the quality of some of the stuff, but between the systems and the good games, I'm not even too worried about the pets games or whatever. I think Ian and Nate from the Thrift Dwellers are actually going for a complete pets collection, because I know they're really passionate about those games. So maybe that's what I'll do with those. I'll just send them to them, you know. I'm quite happy with what I got. I was looking for some of the Mario DS games, and And I'm still a big fan of the Game Boy Advance, so I was happy to see that stuff was a nice bonus. But yeah, anyway, I've been rambling. I'll end this with a quick pan over of everything I got, and yeah, that's how I'll end the video. So thanks for watching, and as mentioned before, if you're not friends with me on Facebook yet and you want to be, check the description below or go to Facebook. I think it's under Matthew 64-bit, I think, or something. I'm sure between the screen here and the description below you will be able to find me. So yeah, anyway, have a good one.